Big O, I can't stop watching the Tua highlights shredding the Chargers. It's really a thing of beauty how accurate he is. What can I tell you? Someone posted a video of how many times the Chargers edge rushers had a free rush and still couldn't get to Tua, and that was all design. I mean, think about that, Pat, and everybody else. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. The amount of balls you got to have. One is a coach to call it, and then the guts of a thief like Tua to that guy's coming free, and it's play design. But again, it's designed for you to get rid of it quickly so you don't take any hits. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And they knew when to chip block. They knew when to double team. They knew when to have a single coverage. They knew when to leave them free. I'm telling you, this was one of the best called games and offensive line play combination in over 20 years. In over 20 years, I had never seen a offensive play call / offensive line play like this. Does not exist in the last 20 years. And you know that 2 years ago, that's what I constantly talked about, right? Play design, that it just wasn't there, dude. And they were terrible at it. This guy is at another level with play design.
Just why they had no worries about the offensive lineman. When everybody else was worrying about it, they're like, well, we can design the plays to fit what we have here.
Right. Remember we talked about Keon Smith? Nobody talks about Keon Smith? And I told you, they like Keon Smith. Look how many linemen they kept. And they like Kendall Lamb. You weren't convinced with Kendall Lamb. Are you convinced now? They also like Keon Smith. You know, you need to start doing this now as a Dolphins fan, okay? And I've talked to you guys about this many, many times. You're shell-shocked from the last 20 years. No quarterbacks, bad coaching, bad front office, yada, 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 yada. Okay, bad offensive lines, too. You got to stop with that. You have people that understand offensive line, okay? And if Austin Jackson hits, by the way, your general manager hit on 2 of the 3 guys then. And he also found Robert Jones. He found Brandon Shell last year. You know what I mean? And then he found Kendall Lamb. So, it's funny how everything's kind of changed, when it comes to the offensive line talk, right? And they told you they weren't panicked. And they performed beautifully this week. Hopefully it continues. But Isaiah Wynn, another guy, they brought him in. Maybe they're better than all the people we've had in the past at understanding offensive linemen, scheming it so they can also succeed. You know what I'm saying? So he found Robert Hunt. If Austin Jackson hits and you miss on Liam Eichenberg, 2 of 3 is good. But if you're also finding Kendall Lamb and he can play left tackle, and you're also finding Isaiah Wynn and he can play left guard, and you can find Robert Jones who can fill in at left guard, and you can find Brandon Shell who can fill in at right tackle, then, this is where the negativity doesn't match the reality of it. You understand what I'm saying? And this is where, again, please leave the past at the door. I've been trying to tell you this for 2 years now. Please leave the past at the door. You have a different general manager. You have a different coach now. You have a different offense. You have a real quarterback. You're going to start winning, folks. I know it's hard for you as a Dolphins fan to allow yourself to have, nice things. I get it. You're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I'm sorry, the shoe's not dropping. So if you're looking forward to it, or that's all you keep harping about, or your buddy keeps going, oh, well, the Dolphins, they'll screw this up or whatever. No, dude, they've got the right people in place. Things are going well. And so I lead to Keon Smith. Okay, Kendall Lamb was a guy they brought on last year. And they started teaching him from last year till now. And it's paid off. So they like Keon Smith. He's a young kid. He's 24 years old. He's a child. Okay? And he had some moments. If you went to training camp, there were some moments. I talked about him a couple weeks ago. this is one of those things that maybe it's a project that works out down the line. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But let's start giving them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the offensive line. Because whatever you want to say, Tua was not running for his life last year like he was the first 2 years. He had plenty of time to pass. And when he got injured, what do I tell you? What happened? Why did he get injured? Because he held onto the ball. In that Packers game, which it wasn't necessarily a killer tackle or anything, that was a 5-second play. You can't do that, bro. You have to stay away from those kind of plays. And if you're going to have a 5-second, man, make sure you are like there's nobody around you. So you can like scan. Like the guys have done an awesome job of blocking and you scrambled out to a spot and you're all alone. And that, that's 5 seconds. Okay, that's going to happen every once in a while for every quarterback in the NFL. Take advantage of it. But if you're in traffic, no more 4 and 5 second games. No, can't do it. So give them the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the offensive line, because if you really look at it, your running backs averaged over 4.5 yards a carry last year. It was that the head coach did not run enough. Your quarterback was not running for his life, and that was their first year together as a staff. Here's the start of the second year, and they played yesterday the best they played, better than any time last year with Armstead. Tranquilo, patience, and take a step back. Assess what's going on. It's changed. It's not the same old Dolphins. It's not the same old offensive line issues. They already started getting better last year, whether you like to admit it or not. And in game 1 of this year, I got to tell you, major improvement. Now let's see what happens against the Patriots this week, because Belichick is going to test them all kinds of ways. If they can pass this test, it starts to just build another case like, holy man, we were worried about a line that might turn out to be a pretty good line, actually, when it's all said and done. Tranquilo.
This is the Big O Show. This is the